Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be describing my initial thoughts and impressions after my first hour with Grey Dawn. Grey Dawn is a horror thriller title that came out in 2017 from what I can tell, and is now making its way to consoles. I'm playing this on an Xbox One Series S because, well, I'm poor. I don't want to talk about it. So all the footage you'll see today is from there. Grey Dawn opens up on Christmas Eve with the narrator telling us that we have, strayed from God's light and unwittingly became a servant of the devil. Okay, it's one of these games, alright. We play as Father Abraham, who has been accused of murdering the upwards of 8 children. Dear Lord! Okay, shocked and even remorseful to hear about the missing kids, Father Abraham begins looking through his home for evidence to exonerate himself that he believes he actually has. However, he's not actually alone in the home, as several apparitions and demons have seated themselves amongst his living space. It's up to Father Abraham to see through the visions, solve the puzzles, and ultimately find the truth behind the missing kids, although if you ask me, I think he did it. Right away, this game has a ton of religious iconography, and if you're not a fan of religion, then it just might not appeal to you at all. Thankfully, I found this blend of religion and horror and ethereal holiness to be almost reminiscent of like BioShock Infinite. Otherwise, if you're okay with seeing pictures of Jesus and finding rosaries and holy water, you might actually enjoy the overall story. Most of the story, unfortunately, is conveyed through the delivery of the voice actors, and most of the lines are very stiff with like no inflection at all.
Oh God, I always asked myself why God allowed children to die.
Don't be sad. You must be brave now.
As a horror game, I don't feel like Grey Dawn hits the mark. For one, it's listed as a horror survival game, and I didn't see any survival elements in there at all, and there was no alluding to a survival element. Plus, the means that they try to convey the demons and scarier moments completely fall flat. Even the moments where the game tried to catch me off guard and give me like little jump scares, it just failed to deliver entirely. That being said, I have to say, I actually find the gameplay of Grey Dawn to be rather enjoyable. It's like a puzzle point-and-click adventure set in first person. Most of your progression is held behind environmental puzzles, and some of them are kind of easy, but I found them to be really engaging. I am a big fan of the environmental work shown in Grey Dawn. Unfortunately, the character models look like hot garbage, but the environments themselves are absolutely beautiful. There's something interesting about the contrast of beauty and horror. It's like BioShock and like Atomic Heart and like Evil Within 2, like this beauty and blood and everything wrapped up together. There were moments that I just stopped walking around and just stared at a wall because, man, I just thought this looks so nice. It's the lighting, it's the texture, it's the blood stain on a beautiful wall, the mannequins being portrayed in a way that's supposed to be terrifying, but instead it looks almost beautiful and angelic. It was just interesting. I feel like I just had to bring it up. Performance issues, unfortunately, are something that I also have to bring up. I had a lot of texture pop in playing this game, and it does a great deal to ruin the immersion. Especially when I just mentioned how like well crafted the environments are. Nothing really takes you out of the moment more than like having to stare at a wall for 30 seconds before the texture actually pops in. But again, I'm playing this on an Xbox One Series S, and I did try this on PC as well, and it plays a lot better, so take that as a grain of salt. Maybe it's something they can work on. All in all, I think Grey Dawn is fairly well put together. At the very least, you can tell that there was some passion put into this game, and that really should be acknowledged. While I'm not crazy about the horror elements, and I'm not crazy about the religious part, I feel like mostly I'm disappointed that the horror elements failed to deliver. I do find myself engaged in its plot and story, however. I'll probably finish this game later on my own, as I'm probably like halfway through it already. But if you're looking for something different and something oddly enough, themed around Christmas and the New Year, why not check out Grey Dawn? It might actually catch you by surprise how much you like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a different kind of review, so if you liked this kind of review, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. I know it's a little shorter than what you're expecting, but I have a lot of deadlines to meet up with, and with games like this, I just feel like you can kind of play the first hour or so and really get a good grasp of what's happening. Again, if a game can't really catch you in the first 35 minutes of gameplay, there's a very little chance that it's going to catch you hours and hours down the road. Gray Dawn is available on consoles as well as PC via Steam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you have a good one.